Hello everyone, and welcome once again to Python with Obinkojo. Today we'll be looking at dictionaries in Python. Alright, so dictionaries are on other data structures that employs what we call mapping in the form of key value pairs for storing objects. These are the basic properties of a dictionary. They are unordered. As compared to lists, we realize that lists are ordered, and therefore we could use indexing and slicing in accessing the individual items within a list. However, all dictionaries are unordered. They also have the property of mutability, meaning we can update the values once we've created it. And in creating a dictionary, we make use of what we call the curly braces and then commas to separate the individual objects within the dictionary. It employs the key value pairs as mentioned earlier. So let's look at the syntax of a dictionary, the basic syntax of a dictionary. So you create a dictionary by opening a curly braces, and then you define your first key, and then you use a colon to map a value to it. So this is more like saying there's a variable and you are assigning a value to it. So our first key, and then this is the associated value for the first key. Our second key, and then the next value. So each key is mapped to a value with a colon. All right, so let's delve into Jupyter Notebooks to actually make a lot of sense from this. All right, welcome. We are right in our Jupyter Notebooks, and then let's get this going. I have just created a dictionary that I'll just paste. It's just similar to what I showed you earlier. So here I have defined the name of a dictionary, and what am I assigning? I'm creating a dictionary. So there is my open curly braces, and then this is the very first key, and this is the value that is associated with the key, and that is my second key, and that is the value that is associated with it. So before we get to accessing dictionaries actually, but to demonstrate that, I'm just gonna call. So to be able to access this very first value, I would just use the dictionary name, the key of the dictionary to do that. So I'll just say key 1. And when I run this, you realize that I'm able to extract the value 1. If I change this to key 2 and I run, I'm able to access the value. So we make use of the keys to access its associated value. All right. So now let us look at a proper use case for a dictionary. So let's say that I want to store information about a student. So I create a student, and then just to collect basic information about the student. So I'm just going to create a key that is the name, and what this name is going to do is it's going to store the name of the student, and I'm going to call the student Dave. And another information I would want to store about the student is his age. So I go ahead and create another key called age, and in this age I'm going to store the name and the age of the student. So let's say the student is 23, and then I would want to store the list of courses that he's offering. So I'll just say courses. And then I bring my colon. Since there's a course, we are going to store all the courses in a list. So I'll just go ahead and then open my square bracket and close. And the very first course is Python. And the second course is Power BI. And the last course is SQL. All right, so this is a valid. What we've done here is that we're storing information about the student. His name is David. His age, that is a key age, will give us the value 23, and the key courses would extract a list of the courses that this individual is studying. All right, so that is, let's go ahead and let's see what is in the student. If we run that, it returns the dictionary for us. Now let us go ahead and look at how we're able to access items in a dictionary. All right, so as I said earlier, to be able to access the student information, let's say we want to access the name of the student, all we do is we call the variable, the dictionary itself, and then you open a square bracket, then we pass in the value, that is the key name, and then this extracts the name David for us. We can go ahead and change this to age. When we run that, it extracts the value that is associated with the key age for us. If we try courses, the last one, we try courses and we run that, it extracts the list of courses that the student offers. Okay, so let's go on. Now let us see how, now we've been able to extract the courses. What if we want to extract maybe just Python from this course list? So you realize that when we call the square bracket on the name of the dictionary, it returned the list of dictionaries. So to be able to remember that list is ordered and can be accessed using indexing or slicing. So whilst we've been able to extract the list from our dictionary, now we can go ahead and employ the idea of indexing. So looking at this list, at index position 0, we have Python. At index position 1, we have that. And at index position 2, we have that. So I can just add a square bracket again. And if I want to extract Python, which is at index position 0, I just pass in the index 0. And if I rerun this now, I'm able to. So what is happening here is that I accessed this courses, the list of courses using the key. Now what I am having now is a list. Therefore, to access what is inside the list, I will use the index position of what I want. So if I do this, good. If I do that and I run that, I end up getting the very first and the second items within that list. Okay, so let us also look at there is a way we can access just the keys. So we are sticking to the same dictionary. So we are going to access just the keys, all the keys within this dictionary. So let's assume that you've created a dictionary information about the student, and you want to be sure if you've added all the attributes of the student within the dictionary. What you can do is that you can use the .key method. So we can just call the name of our dictionary, then the student, and when we say .keys, and .keys, and then we open this bracket and we run, it's going to extract all the keys. So we realize that we created a dictionary with the key name, age, and then courses. So this will give us a clue whether we added all the attributes of the student within the dictionary. To be able to also access the values, all the values within the dictionary, we can go ahead and then just do student dot. Then we use the keyword values. And when we run that, it ends up returning all the values associated with the keys that we just checked earlier. Now, to be able to access both the key and the value at the same time, we use what we call items. So you mention the student name, the name of the dictionary, and you say .items, and you run that, and it ends up returning a list of tuples. So this is a list. You realize that there's a list because it starts with a square bracket and ends with a square bracket. And what we are having here is that we have each key and its associated value being boxed within a tuple. So name Dave is in a tuple, age and the value key is in a tuple, the course and its value list of courses are also in a tuple. All right. As I said from the beginning of the video, that dictionaries are mutable. So let's go ahead and then try to see how we can access this. So for this reason, I'm going to create a new dictionary. I'm just going to call this, we are creating a new information for another student. So I'll call the student 2. And we need to give it a key name, and then this name is going to store his name. So let's say this student is called Ernest, and then so that is a dictionary with just one key value pair. When we run that, it works perfectly. Sorry, if we check the student 2, we run, that is a valid dictionary. So first and foremost, we are going to update this dictionary by adding another key pair values. Just as we did with this, we need to add his age and then the courses. So to do that, you just call the name of the dictionary, and then you open your square bracket, and then you pass in a new key that you would want to add to the dictionary. So this key, I'm just going to call it H. And then I would assign, so what value do you want to associate with that key? So that value comes after the assignment operator. And I would say the student is, let's say, 34 years. And if I run this now and we check our student if we check our student we run this now, realize that it's been updated. The new key value that we added has now been added to it. All right, so let's go ahead and then do our last update to match the student one. So I would say they are in the same course, so I'm just going to copy that. So we call again, we are updating it again with another. So the next is courses. So I'm just going to say courses. And then what value do we associate to this key called courses? I'll just paste that. Remember, because this is a list, because we are adding several items, we need to call a list. We need to assign a list into it. Now, if I go ahead and run this and I check my student 2 now, we realize that it's been updated and student 2 is now having the same attributes just as student 1. There is another way we can update aside using the square bracket, declaring the key and then assigning its associated value to update a dictionary. We can use a method, an inbuilt method in Python that is called the update method. So let us see how we will do that. We want to add the sex of student 2 to a new attribute sex to that. So we are going to use the update method this time around. So to do that, you just call the name of your dictionary again, and then you do the dots, and then you call the update method. You open your braces, and you are updating a dictionary. So what happens is that you just create another dictionary. So you create another dictionary. So what are the key and its associated value that we want to? So we declare a key, we want to call the sex, and then we bring our colon. So it's just more like creating a dictionary and then adding it up to the previous dictionary. So its associated value, let's say Ernest is a male. Ernest is a male, so we go ahead and do that. Remember, we are updating this dictionary student 2 by a new dictionary, with a new dictionary, sorry. So when I run this and I now check on student 2, you realize that student 2 is now having name, age, courses, and then sex. So let's go ahead and then we are going to look at some methods, some very handy methods that we can use in dictionary as well, just as we did with the other data types and data structures. So we can check the length of a dictionary with the len, as we've encountered several times. So if I call the keyword len, and then I check student, now at this point we started with just 1, student 2, and I run this, we end up getting 4 because it has 4 key pair values, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So that is the length of our dictionary. If we go ahead and then we do pop, there is another method called pop. So to use the pop, what does the pop does? The pop can remove a specific key pair value from the dictionary, then returns that value that has been removed. So let us just try that. Let's try that. So student 2, and I say dot pop. The dot pop key takes in an argument. So it takes the key of the value, the key pair value that you want to pop up. So let's assume that we just made a mistake. We don't need the student sex, and we want to pop that out. We just pass in the key sex. Now, if I run this, now you realize that male has been popped out. Let us go ahead and check this student 2, and we check that, and you realize that we use the sex, the key, and we called the pop method, and it's taking out both the key and its value out of it. Now let's go ahead and look at another method that is called the pop item. So we just call our dictionary name, and then we call the pop item method on it. This pop item method does not take in any argument. What it does is that it pops the very last key pair value. So it is similar to using pop in a list. So when we do this, we run that, you realize that it's popped out. This is what is popping out, and that happens to be the last item, the last key pair value in our list. In our dictionary. Now let us go ahead and check our student 2 dictionary. Now we run and realize that the courses has been popped out. Okay, let's go ahead and then look at the last thing in dictionary. So dictionary, we're looking at the keyword called del. So we use del to delete key pair values from the dictionary, or to totally eliminate the whole dictionary. So first of all, we are going to check how we use the del keyword to just delete a key pair value. Now we are having two key pair values. So let's just go ahead and say del, and then you call the name of your dictionary. Sorry, student 2, and you pass in, you open a square bracket and you pass in the key of the key pair value that you would want to delete from the dictionary. So this time around, let's go ahead and say H, and I would run this to demonstrate. Let me just go ahead and print student after deleting it. Student. Oh, sorry about that. So let me just go ahead and do print student 2, and now we realize that student 2 is just having just one key pair value. I would want to go back here, and then good. Let us just add this information again. Let me just go ahead and add this information again, and let's print student 2. The reason I want to demonstrate how the del. So now we have two key pair values in the dictionary. Now we are going to use the del keyword to eliminate the whole dictionary. That is why I decided to add some, so that it becomes obvious the difference between using the key with the del keyword and then just deleting the whole or the entire dictionary. So to do that, we just call the del keyword, and then we say student 2, and we run. Now when we run, nothing seems to happen. Let's go ahead and check our student 2 table now, a dictionary. Now we run this and it says student 2 is not defined. What happened is that we used the del keyword to eliminate the entire dictionary. So this is the basics for dictionaries. Thanks for joining. I urge you to subscribe, to like, and then leave a comment. We will meet in our next lesson. Bye bye.